y'all? I am Vegas and welcome to the Dungeons of Rap. This is my review of Malice's documentary, The End of Malice. It's about Malice, formerly known as the artist formerly known as Malice, out of the Clips duo, and it basically covers why he decided to leave the group. Now, I'm gonna just warn you, it's not very long. It's about 40 something minutes, about 43 minutes, I think. It's on Netflix. I believe it aired on cable at some point, but I never got around to watching it. That's why I'm doing a review. But some people may go into this documentary feeling like, yeah, see what happened, who was fighting, who got robbed, why they broke up. First and foremost, they're brothers. If you didn't know, the Clips are brothers. Second of all, none of that is revealed in this documentary, but it is still worth watching. Why? Well, when the whole split between the two happened in regards to them going on solo careers, Malice at the time felt like, he was kind of done with rapping about the things he rapped about. And what's so dope about this documentary is, you go into it thinking it's about the breakup, but it's not necessarily about the breakup. It's more so about Malice seeing that what he was promoting in his lyrics, just didn't sit well with him, and almost to the point where it almost never did, and he felt like he was blocking something out of his life. He had a conscience while he was writing these ultimate coke rhymes for your listening pleasure. And I think it's a deep story because, see, the thing is I know a lot of people want to know, some juicy history, but it's about where the Clips were right before they got a deal, what happened when they got a deal, how he was feeling, what he was doing. So he went through a lot of different things, from smoking a lot of weed, suppressing a lot of feelings, about the music he was putting out to the community, to the listeners, to the fans. And I think what's dope, and there's no real spoilers in this situation because there's nothing that he hasn't aired out, but I think what's dope about this documentary is the fact that here you have an artist taking responsibility for his message. Imagine that. Now, I'm not saying that every artist should do this or every artist should feel like this. I think you should be true to who you are, even if that content happens to be negative. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fault of the artist that someone hears that record and they're influenced to go do something. We're all raised, we're not raised like I was raised on hip hop, but I was raised by my mother, you know what I'm saying? And I knew right from wrong. So there was no way that hip hop or a book or a video game or a movie can tell me that if I commit this crime that I'm not going to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I already knew I was going to get in trouble because I was going to get ass whooping if I did certain things, you know what I'm saying, as a kid. But I think for him, it's dope to see this only because you could see a dude that was struggling. Now, they don't go into too much detail, but watching this documentary, I feel like there's a lot that's not being told, not necessarily in regards to the breakup. I think all of that was true. I think when you watch the two brothers together, especially at this moment, they're brothers, you know what I'm saying? And his brother, Pusha T, he accepts whatever, No Malice wants, you know what I'm saying? Because that's his brother, and you can tell he loves him. He may wish it was different, that they could still do clips, records, and tour and do things like that, because that got to be hurting the money side of things. But he does respect his brother's wishes, and I think that's really dope. But I felt like watching his documentary, when you look at No Malice, you feel like there's a part of his beginnings that's not being aired out here. Whether that be something traumatizing that's happened throughout his life, and they've talked about a number of things, that have happened, and you coming from the ghetto, people lose people close to you to the streets, and people get sent up and things like that. And you could tell that he had reached the point where he was just tired. He was tired of talking about it. He was tired of being around it. He was tired of seeing people like his manager, go to prison for certain things. He was just tired of being around that lifestyle. And, it's relatable because you can imagine being in the hood and you're selling drugs or doing whatever dirt you do because of the simple fact that you want to get out. You get out, right? You become this big record star. You sell records. You got Pharrell with you. You selling records. Everybody love y'all. A hip hop duo. But you're still surrounded by some of that. And you don't really see an out. And, for him, his out was the church. His out was Jesus Christ. And, not that I'm a holy roller or someone who goes to church or believes in this and that. But regardless of your religion, you can relate to that. Even if you don't have a religion and you just feel like you want to turn your life around, you can relate to that. So I feel like this is less of a hip hop story and it's more of a life story that just so happens to have hip hop artists in it. You know what I'm saying? I think the end of Malice is a pretty dope and very quick documentary that you can watch on Netflix. And you can walk away thinking about your life. One of the key things that he said in this documentary was the fact that he always felt uncomfortable or guilty with the type of lyrics and the music that he was putting out there. He felt like for him to, in the back of his mind at least, feel like he knows better. He knows how this could possibly influence someone who doesn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Someone who wasn't raised by their parents and had that person in their life to tell them that's not the way to go. And they may be looking up to Malice and say, yo, I want to be like him. He sold drugs, he did this, that, and the third, then he became a rap star. I want to be like him. So I think it's a pretty dope way to watch a person who took a responsibility for what he felt was him, putting a lot of negative stuff out there. And again, this documentary is solely focused on him changing based off of his music. But the clips have always hinted at being a part of them streets and being so close to it and being a real situation. I'm pretty sure there are things in his life that also helped him to realize that, damn, not only was I doing this that was wrong, I got on and I made money rhyming about it. What is my purpose in life? Now, what do I give it? I think it's a go. Again, it doesn't take much of your time to watch it at all. 43 minutes, what's that? And honestly, I felt like he wanted to do this because he wanted to make a greater impact than he felt he was making with his music. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't entertained by these kinds of stories, but you should be. If you are a Clips fan, if you are a Pusha T fan, and you want to get a little snapshot into who they were as a group and why his brother decided to become No Malice and become kind of like a Christian rapper, watch this documentary, The End of Malice. I think it's pretty good. It's on Netflix. Add it to your queue. It's a go. That's going to do it for me right here on Hip Hop Reviews. You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC, whether that be Instagram, Twitter, whatever, all of that. Also, check out the blog hiphoppolitic.com, where the hop and the politic share the P. And until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.